The topic of this year is phenomenally important, and it was very well chosen. And it's the point of we're entering a period of perpetual crisis. We know that we are a turning point for humanity, be it climate change or the constant pandemics that we know are going to be a part of our life. So there is not a thing such as post-pandemic.
This is up to now a pretty empty room, and we're reconvening in a virtual format. And I want to thank you very much for being with us to this year's M100 Sanssouci Colloquium here at the Schlosstheater in Potsdam. My name is Leonid Volkov. I'm a journalist. I'm the director of the Institute for Media and Communications.
I think it's absolutely crucial. I really think it is. These are the times, I mean, the pandemic is far from over, but this is the time where we shape the post-pandemic order, as it were, and that includes the media order and the question in which kind of media landscape, with which kind of journalism we as societies, as democracies, want to live. And this is something that we're discussing here at the M100 Sanssouci Colloquium, so I think it's absolutely crucial.
Philosophy as a whole, I think, did not provide the interpretive guidance to the situation that it should have. Among what we all should have certainly learned from the pandemic is that the, quote, biopolitical life of the body is not incommunicable, nor is it the basis of a privatized subjectivity only, or necessarily.
In my workshop, we looked at leadership. What do we need now for leadership in these very, very challenging times? We need to change the paradigms of our societies in so many levels, and for that we need leaders with courage. And of course, for leaders to have courage, you need to have the fundamental role of the media to be capable of supporting that courage to change things by bringing together public opinions. So we have really come to the conclusion that we need to rejuvenate the fundamental role of media as a pillar of our society and to make it more responsible and more orientated on the public good. The old debate about the role of information in society needs to be brought back to information as a public good that can't be submitted to the vagaries of the market.
We were discussing in session 2 whether Europe is fit for the role in a changing world order or not. And I think what the most important point was that we have to be united among ourselves. Europe has to be united, then we're strong.
Yeah, we were talking about one of the major topics that journalism needs to cover in the years to come, and this is climate change, global warming. And we were debating the role of journalism in this and the role of science, and the basic remarks were that we need a basic set of metrics to even establish the debate about journalism, and for people to understand metrics as easy to understand as some of the metrics of the pandemics were, because then people know where they are at. And also we need constructive ways to present the topic so that every citizen has an idea what he or she can contribute to solving the problem.
I think it's one of these wonderful events where you get opinions from not only geographically different positions, but also journalistic from different positions. Here are publishers, here are commentary people that are very strong in their opinion pieces. So it's a good mix from all over Europe and from all over the business. This is what makes M100 so unique and so important.
M100 is one of the key venues where the journalist world opens up to academics, to policymaker, analysts, and somehow reconnect with the rest of society in order to get better ideas and develop new models that actually have a public policy goal.
This event is phenomenally important in my mind because it's one of its kind, because it brings together academic research, policymakers, and media practitioners. And it's very important that these groups of society that are responsible for meaning in modern contemporary societies must exchange views and work together. And that's something that M100 does in a very, very effective way.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 2021 M100 Sanssouci Colloquium and the subsequent M100 Media Award. I'm Ali Hassan, international TV host and journalist, and I've had the pleasure and privilege to be part of the M100 conference for many, many years.
When trying to draw conclusions from the COVID-19 crisis for the future, resilience has appeared as a key term of public debate. The term refers to an elementary change in perspective. In some respects, the idea of resilience even shakes up the modern understanding of progress. It replaces a policy of positivity with a policy of negativity. If resilience is now emerging as a new guiding principle for politics, this means a reversal of perspective. The future now appears as a space of risks. Society now appears as a system that is repeatedly exposed to violent disturbances. These threaten the social equilibrium. There is no doubt that a paradigm shift towards a politics of resilience in the 21st century in some respect would be a smart or even wise move. Instead of always rushing after the latest catastrophes in the short term, one has to acknowledge the ubiquity of risks from which to develop appropriate long-term strategies.
United States and European countries made a lot of mistakes. When it comes to their political interests, they were so ready to sacrifice their democratic principles, I'm afraid.
I would take it's maybe a bit more complex if you think about Germany. Recognizing that the idea of changing other countries didn't work is maybe a particularly painful learning process for Germany. So the conviction was what worked for us should work for others, and that it didn't work is something that was very difficult to recognize.
You really need an educated class for democracy to work. It's not about elections, it's about civil society, it's about higher education levels, it's women's rights, free expression, of course. And at the same time, the sponsors of this democratic process also cannot be enablers for corrupt officials. I don't think we should necessarily give up on helping countries develop into democratic states, but I think we need to take some lessons, hard lessons from the Afghan experience.
How do we gain back the trust?
Well, first of all, we have to really fight against fake news, first of all. Then we should stick to our independence, because independence is the most crucial part of our business. Having such a strong polarization as we can observe it in the US, it's probably the best condition to have a democratic backslide. So actually keep a society where you can disagree in a cultivated manner and where you accept there's something in between the two opposites is key. And this is again where the media come in, because this is a crucial role to have this kind of broader spectrum of information, of opinion, and often, as I would call it, cultivated exchange. I think that people who have lived in an authoritarian or totalitarian state, which at least applies to two on the panel, value democracy even more. And that gives also resilience and power. And I think that those countries or people who can choose would probably choose in one direction, so we have to strengthen them. And this comes back to the media. So I give homework to all of you.
Привет, это Навальный.
When the board members, beginning of this year, discussed, it was no question that Alexei Nawalny and his foundation FBK are worth to get this award. Alexei Nawalny is the first awardee who cannot come to Potsdam to receive the award in person because he is imprisoned.
Die Fähigkeit eines Gemeinwesens in gesellschaftlichen und politischen Krisen und Transformationssituationen immer wieder zu einer von der Mehrheit der Gesellschaft getragenen und im demokratischen Meinungsstreit legitimierten Akzeptanz von Demokratie als Gesellschafts-, Staats- und Lebensform zu gelangen und diesen Grundwert einer pluralistischen Gesellschaft zu verteidigen. Das ist für mich, so ganz persönlich, demokratische Resilienz. Und ja, für mich gehört auch die Verteidigung dieser Grundwerte dazu. Denn bei aller Pluralität der Meinungen muss die Toleranz ihre Begrenzung finden in der Abwehr menschen- und demokratiefeindlicher Aussagen. Voraussetzung eines demokratischen Gemeinwesens ist der Schutz von Menschen- und Grundrechten und die Bejahung der Demokratie als Gesellschaftsform. Und dazu müssen alle Gewalten aus meiner Sicht ihren Beitrag leisten.
Leider kann Alexei Nawalny den Preis heute bekanntlich nicht persönlich entgegennehmen, da er zur Stunde östlich von Moskau inhaftiert ist. Und das nur, weil er es wagt, offensichtliche Missstände, Machtmissbrauch und Korruption anzuzeigen. Er selber würde es übrigens ja noch schärfer sagen. Er würde sagen, und so hat er es getan, Zitat, ich bin in Haft, weil ich es gewagt habe, einen Mordanschlag zu überleben. Er wusste, was ihn erwartet. Er musste mit Sicherheit davon ausgehen, dass ihm ein Prozess gemacht werden würde, der nicht unseren rechtsstaatlichen Standards genügen konnte. Und trotzdem hat er sich dafür entschieden, weil er wusste, dass seine Rolle und Verantwortung als Oppositioneller Schaden nehmen würde durch die Propaganda des Regimes, wenn er im Westen verbliebe. Was ist das für ein Preis, den dieser Held im demokratischen Kampf zu zahlen bereit ist?
So I'm very proud to accept the M100 Media Award, not only on Alexei's behalf, but on behalf of the whole team. This is a press prize, awarded for journalism. Alexei Nawalny is a politician who was running for mayor of Moscow and for president of Russia. But indeed, his main lifetime achievement, the Anti-Corruption Foundation, is first of all about investigative journalism. We consider this award to be a clear indication that we are on track to bring Russia back to Europe, where it belongs. It will require time, a lot of time, hard work, a lot of patience, but at the end of the day, we shall overcome. Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, this wraps up the 2021 edition of the M100 Sanssouci Colloquium. I can tell you it's wonderful. It was wonderful to be back here in person. With that, I'm Ali Aslan. Stay safe, stay healthy, and I hope to see you again in 2022 when M100 will be back. All the best. Until then, cheers.